and paid for. And I thought about that for a little while and said, you know, I can't imagine how you could say that knowing that you were just in business with the Chinese Communist Party and the same people that funded Hunter Biden millions of dollars was a partner of yours as well. It's not nonsense.
Oh boy. Totally forgot about these debates.
Who are tainted by a broken system, and it's not the fault of anybody who's involved.
Some of us are tainted, but the bottom line is when you say Biden paid for.
Thank you for speaking while I'm interrupting. While I'm speaking.
Well, you said Biden paid for.
If I may finish,
You can't be on both sides.
Gentlemen, you'll have your turn.
One of the challenges we should have
focus on the issues that matter. We know we did business in China. Everybody knows that.
If I may,
Focus on holding Joe Biden accountable. That's what we need to be focusing on.
I actually agree with Ron DeSantis.
Speak at the same time, no one can understand
Exactly.
your message.
So if
I totally forgot about the debates.
On China. When every other CEO expanded into the Chinese market, you know what I did with my first company? We opened a subsidiary in China. But you know what I did that was different than every other company? We got the hell out of there. And when I started my next company, Strive, right when it was years ago.
Yo, they roasted this dude. Oh, is this the Reagan? Is this the Reagan Library?
Would never do business in China. And I will say something.
Yes. I think you have more than time to explain your point.
Well, if I was interrupted by a lot of people here, and I want to be respectful because I believe these
you weren't respectful
people,
last debate.
but I do not believe in these. We're sitting here in the Reagan Library.
Yes, I wish you.
Yeah, the Reagan Library. That's what I thought.
Reagan's Library, if I may, from one admirer of Ronald Reagan to another. From one admirer of Reagan to another, we cannot
do deals with the
violate
4 years ago?
This isn't productive.
I want to hear about that.
Let's have a policy debate.
What's going on?
Let us have a policy debate.
Let's have about their records.
Let's have a policy debate. And the right answer is we need to declare independence.
Trump wins by a landslide.
Vice President Pence.
These
in
guys are
2017,
clowns.
The Trump-Pence administration canceled DACA, which put the legal status of 600,000 dreamers in the hands of the courts. Dreamers work and they pay taxes. As president, if the Supreme Court ends DACA, would you work with Congress to reach a permanent solution for dreamers?
Volume is so low on their behalf.
Vivek pulled out of his business deal in 2018 in China. That must have been about the time you decided to start voting in presidential elections. So, thanks to have you participating in elections. So, let me speak to this issue. Number one, I negotiated the Remain in Mexico policy with the Mexican government. We used economic power to bring the Mexican government to the table. We built hundreds of miles of border wall. And despite what's said here today,
everybody's attacking.
We reduced illegal immigration and asylum abuse by 90%.
Volume was good. Thank you.
And as President of the United States, I can do it again. And the truth is, we need to fix a broken immigration system, and I'll do that as well. But first and foremost, a nation without borders is not a nation. And we have to secure the southern border of the United States of America. I know how to do it, and we will do it again. Let me say one other thing about China. Let me say one other thing about China.
Would you negotiate with Congress to give a solution to the problem that dreamers have right now? They are on a limbo.
Well, let me tell you, I served in Congress for 12 years, although it seemed longer. But you know, something I've done different than everybody on this stage is I've actually secured reform in Congress. You know, Ron, you talk a really good game about cutting spending, but you've increased spending in Florida by 30%. When I was a member of Congress in 2006, right after Hurricane Katrina, Danny, you remember, we stood our ground. I led House conservatives. We cut $100 billion out of the federal budget. It can be done, but as I said in the last debate, I'll say again, this is no time for on-the-job training. I'm going to be ready on day one to get Congress to step up, secure the southern border of the United States, build a military fitted to our times, and we're going to get spending in Washington, D.C. under control once and for all.
On the other side of this break, and I propose to go to a break. How will these candidates make America safer as rising crime plagues our cities? Debate night continues in moments.
Univision? Oh, is she from Univision?
Do you trust our government and where the economy is heading?
So I missed the first half of the debates. I didn't know what time it was. My fault. I didn't know what time it was. The debate was still low. That's not. I mean, there's nothing I can do about that. That's That's fucking Rumble. That's what we have to deal with on Rumble. Bruh, I missed the first half of the debate. It looks like they were getting in fucking Ramaswamy's butt. Let's hear. It seems like I didn't really miss that much. Did it just start? Yeah, it seemed like it just started. It just started.
We have a lot of ground.
Congress under Joe Biden. The first bill had $86 billion for the union pensions because
where's Larry Elder? Oh, that's right. He couldn't go.
Under-deliver.
Because of the system, right? The system, the racist system that doesn't exist. It looks like the systemic racism, Larry Elder, seems to have impacted you. Isn't that interesting? The man who wants to say it's not a problem, hey, racism is not a problem. Well, it looks like, I don't know what to tell you. Looks like your black ass is sitting down while his black ass is up there, huh? Very interesting. Very interesting, Larry Elder, right? You want to talk about, well, I'm talking about real things, following this in the black community and stuff. Well, it seems that the racist system doesn't want you to talk about those things. Huh? Looks like, Larry, you're sitting down in the comfort of your home watching all these people fucking debate. Isn't that wild? But you go ahead and keep on denying as far as the system and whatnot. The system that is actually fucking you right now. You hear that sound? Yeah, that's Larry Elder getting fucked by the system. The one that he says doesn't exist. Okay, we're still on commercials.
Alongside my co-moderators, Fox News Channel Dana Perino and Ilya Calderon, Univision.
Of Univision, okay. He's not used to saying that. Univision, oh my God, bro. Black people, this is a fucking travesty. I want you to understand that. They got fucking Univision up here. We got nobody representing black people here. Nobody. They're not asking questions about black people. Bro, I don't know what to tell you. This should be all you need to understand. This should be all you need to understand. They got two white people and a Latina from Univision. Niggas, if you do not understand that we have been skipped over, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Okay? I really don't. Mofos want to still comment on my 5-year extinction. And it's literally happening right in front of our face. When was the last time a Republican debate had a Latina from Univision asking questions and shit? I don't even remember, bro. I don't even remember. Maybe it's happened. Maybe it's happened. I sure as fuck don't remember. Like, well, what will you do for immigration? I don't remember that ever happening in the Republican RNC forum of debates. I just don't recall that. We got this goofball.
America is now a border county because fentanyl has devastated Americans in every single state.
We got this people, bro. They got Univision, bro, up there. That's crazy. They got Univision, bro. What? As I've told you niggas, as I've told you time and time again, learn Spanish or learn Mandarin. Learn Spanish or learn Mandarin. This goes to show you how much white conservatives hate black people.
I do want to just remind everyone.
They will invite Bussy and they will invite freaking illegals up in here.
So we want to talk about crime
before they invite your black ass.
Problem in our country with the Fox News.
There's nothing I can do about the audio. It's just low.
Crime in major cities is
Rumble is shit. This is high as it goes.
Just last night, looters took over the streets of Philadelphia. You said in the last debate that you would use U.S. attorneys to prosecute crimes local prosecutors won't. But they are stretched as well, and they could not handle all of the lawlessness, the shoplifting, all the carjackings, the armed robberies. They're all surging. Progressive prosecutors were elected by their constituents, and they can't be fired by a president. So what would you do to end the revolving door of criminality?
Well, look, Dana, I'm the only one on this stage who's done it. For 7 years, I ran the 5th largest office in this country. at the U.S. Attorney's Office in New Jersey, and we set records for the number of prosecutions that we brought that still have not been broken. And the reason was that we went after the crime that was affecting people's lives. And as president, I will appoint an attorney general and instruct that attorney general that you are to put all the resources that are necessary to bring our cities back under control. The fact is, they will be stretched. There's no doubt about that, but that's what they take the job for, because they love the idea of enforcing the law. We've got to bring law and order back to this country. And not just in our cities.
You want to know what law and order means? Target black people.
We need law and order back in our suburbs. People are threatened there.
Anytime a Republican says law and order,
and we need it in Washington, D.C.
They mean target black
people.
people. That's what they mean.
Donald Trump should be here to answer for that, but he's not. And I want to look at that camera.
That's
right
all
now and
that
tell
means,
you, Donald,
bro.
I know you're watching. You can't help yourself. I know you're watching, okay? And you're not here tonight, not because of polls and not because of your indictments. You're not here tonight because you're afraid of being on this stage and defending your record. You're ducking these things. And let me tell you what's going to happen. You keep doing that, no one up here is going to call you Donald Trump anymore. We're going to call you Donald Duck.
All right. I want to you fired a couple of prosecutors in your state, but as governor, I mean,
he went after Trump.
You would not have the ability to do that. How do you think about dealing with the root causes of crime, especially this revolving door of the criminals?
This man's attacking a shadow. There's no one in front of him, and he's attacking.
Well, the crime in these cities is one of the strongest signs of the decaying of America. We can't be successful as a country if people aren't even safe to live in places like Los Angeles and San Francisco. Just being in Southern California over the last couple of days, my wife and I have met 3 people who have been mugged on the street, and that would have never happened 10 or 20 years ago.
What?
In Florida, we back the blue. We support the men and women of law enforcement.
Do people not get mugged in Florida?
We have a 50-year low in the crime rate. And yes, when I had 2 progressive prosecutors that were following the law in Florida, I removed them from their posts, and the people of
crime
Florida
is low
safer
everywhere,
as a result of it. As president, I will use the Justice Department to bring civil rights cases against all of those left-wing Soros-funded prosecutors. We're not going to let them get away with it anymore.
He wants to kill black people.
We want to reverse this country's decline. We need to choose
I
law
wouldn't
and
vote
order
for DeSantis
over rioting and
if it meant my whole family lived.
Related subject. Governor Haley,
I wouldn't do it,
there's
bro.
a nationwide
I'd like,
policing
we're better
shortage.
off in heaven.
Retirements are up. Recruitment is in the tank.
DeSantis wants to kill black people. That's what he wants.
3 years ago, you signed
when he talks about law and order, that's what DeSantis
now,
wants.
Pledges are a nice idea.
To target black
what's
people.
your actual plan to get more police on our streets?
Well, and I actually did it in South Carolina, too. You know, what we knew in South Carolina was you take care of those who take care of you. We have to start taking care of law enforcement, but it's not just taking care of them with words.
Oh my God.
It's making sure that you also follow through on
These
what they do.
niggas will talk
Right
about
now,
law
we have a
enforcement and
lot
not talk about take
stolen
care of
guns
American
on the street.
citizens.
Well, these law enforcement officers, they arrest these people, and then they go and they're let out the very next day.
They
So
talking about law enforcement
feels like they don't know when
and
has
not
their
the
back.
police.
We have to start prosecuting according to the law. We have to make sure
Violating their
we have the backs of
oath.
law
Well, actually, their
enforcement,
oath is
and
not
we
to
have
us.
to make sure that we're a country of law and order. But I
Oh,
want to
here
go
we
back
go.
to
Oh,
China
my
because
God,
I
bro, I
don't think
can't
we spent
stand these
enough time
mofos.
on that. Right now, we have to look at what government's doing to hurt
They
us
killing
against
us.
China, too. You have a company,
And we trying to
US
protect them.
Antibiotics, that produces amoxicillin, the #1 antibiotic that we need. And right now, there is a company in Bristol, Tennessee, that produces that, yet our federal government only gets it from China. We need to be focusing on companies that produce in America and supporting those companies that produce in America, not companies that are helping China.
Governor,
Sure, absolutely, absolutely. China.
Thank you, Stuart. We're going to stay in the topic of crime because it affects all of us. Governor Burgum, for the first time ever, a Univision poll found that mass shootings and gun safety are one of the most important issues for Latino voters. Mental health concerns are not unique to the United States, but gun violence is. What is your specific plan to curb gun violence?
Have black people ever gotten representation?
Well, first we need to understand is I think that the liberal left
She's talking
seems
about
to be
how
just
it
completely
affects
bent
Latino
on
voters.
prosecuting law-abiding citizens that are gun owners because every solution they have to this is take away the Second Amendment rights of Americans, and somehow that's going to solve the problem. But all these cities that we're talking about that you showed the videos of tonight, they have some of the strictest gun laws in the country. So we know that that's not what's working. But what we have to do is get back to the core issues about the family. We have to get back to behavioral health and mental health. We've got to get back to actually enforcing the laws these people talked about. And like we've done in North Dakota, where we've got the goal and we're on the track to be the most military-friendly state in the nation.
I thought we were all POC.
Yeah,
tell that to LA,
what we're doing in terms of law enforcement.
Tell that to the LA.
The morale is down because we've been defunding the police, because they've been attacked in the press. The police have become the bad guys.
They've been attacked because they've been attacking
all these jobs
us.
Available in America. Why would you be a policeman if people don't even respect them? Every time I see a policeman, the first thing I say is thank you. And so does everybody else in my family and most of the people in our state, because they know we have to respect the people that are out there defending us every single day.
They're not defending us. They're defending corporations. They're defending Congress people. That's who they're defending. They're not defending the little guy. Did they all just forget what happened during COVID? What the fuck are you talking about?
Citizens. How would you stop fentanyl brought into the country, mostly by U.S. citizens, through ports of entry?
There's two sides to this, and we have to be very honest about it. One is we do have to seal that southern border. Building the wall is not enough.
That shit off,
They're building cartel-financed tunnels underneath that wall. Semi-trucks can drive through them.
Bro.
We have to use our own military to seal the Swiss cheese of the southern border. But we also have to be honest. There's a demand-side problem in this country, too. A mental health epidemic.
Matter of fact, I vote pink in the brain over this.
Two parents, Kathy and Derek. They lost their son, Sebastian, 17 years old.
Here we go.
He bought Percocet on Snapchat. And then he died. Why did he die? Because it was laced with fentanyl. That is closer to bioterrorism, not a drug overdose. That is poisoning. So it is our job to make sure that never happens. But it's also our job to make sure that 17-year-olds don't turn to Percocet via Snapchat. We have to bring back mental health care in this country, not with pumping pharmaceuticals, but with faith-based approaches that restore purpose and meaning in the next generation of Americans. Many of them are getting it through social media. And this isn't a Republican point or a Democrat point.
The issue isn't drugs.
Years old or under, you
the issue is the government targeting people who do drugs.
Period.
That's
this
the
is
issue.
Something that we can both agree on, and we can revive
both
the
fucking
mental
issue
health of this country while stopping the fentanyl epidemic that will kill more people this year than who died on 9/11.
What
and
fentanyl
to be a
epidemic?
passive bystander sitting in the White House like the hollowed-out husk of a current president we have. We will step up and address this
Oh
problem.
my God! I wish they were this sympathetic when it came to crap. What the hell are we talking about? Let me do my drug, whatever I want to do, bruh.
Commander-in-Chief, I'm going to use the U.S. military to go after the Mexican drug cartels. They are killing our people. And the
I want to see that.
In Florida, we had an infant, 18 months.
Here we go with another anecdotal story.
And apparently the people that had rented it before were using drugs. The infant was crawling, the toddler was crawling on the carpet and ingested fentanyl residue and died. Are we just going to sit here and let this happen, this carnage happen in our country? I am not going to do that. So I guarantee you on day one, this border is going to be a day one issue for me as president.
And ingested fentanyl residue.
Yes, we'll build the wall. We'll do remain in Mexico. But those Mexican drug cartels are going to be treated like the foreign terrorist organizations that they are.
What? These people. Bro, Republicans are stupid. I'm sorry.
Last month, Vice President Pence.
Bro, these people are stupid,
You said if elected, you would repeal all Obamacare mandates. However, you also made that same promise in 2016.
These people are stupid,
at that time,
This is crazy.
Trump-Pence had congressional majorities for at least the first 2 years. And you did not deliver on that promise. So Obamacare, right now, it is more popular than ever.
Don't do Bruno Mars like that.
Why should Americans trust you if you become president to fix that? Or is Obamacare here to stay?
Well, first, let me speak to the mass shootings issue, and then I'll answer that question. It's an important one, Dana. Look, I'm someone that believes that justice delayed is justice denied.
Bro, you talk too slow.
And as a father of three, as the grandfather of three beautiful little girls, I am sick and tired of these mass shootings happening in the United States of America. And if I'm president of the United States, I'm going to go to the Congress of the United States, and we're going to pass a federal expedited death penalty for anyone involved in a mass shooting so that they will meet their fate in months, not years. It is unconscionable that the Parkland shooter, Ron, is actually going to spend the rest of his life behind bars in Florida. That's not justice. We have to mete out justice and send a message to these would-be killers that you are not going to live
this
out
means
your
kill
days
black
behind
people,
bars.
because all they have to
You're
do
gonna meet justice
is
in this
redefine
Senate.
mass shooting, how many of the races like to define it. When it has to do with gang members, bro, I'm telling you.
Thank you for reiterating the question, because I'd love to answer it. Look, I think it's one of the choices here. You know, my former running mate, Donald Trump, actually has a plan to start to consolidate more power in Washington, D.C., consolidate more power in the executive branch. If I'm president of the United States, it's my intention to make the federal government smaller by returning to the states those resources and programs that are rightfully theirs under the 10th Amendment of the Constitution. That means all Obamacare funding, all housing funding, all HHS funding, all of it goes back to the states. We'll shut down the federal Department of Education. Will allow states to
we didn't have 5 years.
We're going to revive federalism
These
in America,
mofos are actually trying to pick up where Democrats left off.
America back.
Stu, go ahead.
May I remind everyone to keep within their time frame so that we can get as many questions in as possible.
Because if you don't think black people are going to be the fucking at the center of that reticle,
don't have insurance coverage.
You're out of
Governor
your mind.
DeSantis, 2.5 million of them are in your state. That's worse than the national average. Can Americans trust you on this?
Wait,
well, I think this is a symptom of our overall economic decline. Everything has gotten more expensive. You see insurance rates are going through the roof. People that are going to get groceries. I spoke with a woman in Iowa, and she said, you know, for the first time in my life, I'm having to take things out of my grocery cart when I get to the checkout line because the total goes up so quickly. So this is very real, and people are hurting out there. So we've got to address the underlying problem with Bidenomics, the overspending,
bro, none of that
taking all
good, bro.
Biden's rules and regulations. I'm going to throw them in the trash can on day one. You're not going to have to worry about
that. If you know these people and the lineage of evil they come from, none of it sounds dominant
in this country. That will lower your gas prices. And what we need to do with health care is recognize our health care is putting patients at the back of the bus. We have big pharma, big insurance,
you have to
and
understand
big government.
What white
and we
Republicans
need to tackle
think
that
when they think of
and
crime.
have more power
They think
for
of
the
black.
people and the doctor-patient
That's what they think.
relationship.
So when they talk about law and order and hate, putting death penalties, they're talking about targeting
our
black
state's
people.
a dynamic state.
That's who they
we've
put
got
as the face of
folks
crime
that come. Of course,
in,
we've had a population boom.
In this
we
country.
also don't have a lot of welfare benefits in Florida. You know, we're basically say we want to. This is a field of dreams. You can do well in the state, but we're not going to be like
that's the same thing. What happened to the crime bill?
Numbers of
crime bill at
people,
face value.
Government
The
programs
issue wasn't the
without
crime
work
bill. The issue was
we
the
believe you
execution.
work and you got to do that, and so that goes for all the
The issue
welfare
isn't necessarily the
benefits.
laws
And you know
that we
what that's
have.
done,
The issue
Stuart?
is the
Our
execution
unemployment rate
of
is the
those laws.
lowest amongst any big state. We
In
have the
theory,
highest GDP
everything
growth
works.
against any big state.
Yeah, just
and
do
even
this and everything
CNBC,
else. No, it's what
fan
happens
of
when in
mine
practice.
ranked Florida the #1 economy in America.
That's what these demons try and completely overlook.
Healthcare is the leading cause of bankruptcy for American families, accounting for 2/3 of all personal bankruptcies. As president, how you protect Americans who get sick from financial ruin?
First of all, how can we be the best country in the world and have the most expensive health care in the world? We have an issue. My mom was in the hospital, and when she was in the hospital, they tried to bring her a couple of Tylenol, and she said, I don't need it. And they said, honey, go ahead and take it because you're paying for it anyway. Why is it that when we got the bill, the insurance company in the hospital negotiated the bill for her without her having anything to do with it? When I am president, we will break all of it, from the insurance company to the hospitals to the doctor's offices to the PBMs to the pharmaceutical companies. We will make it all transparent, because when you do that, you will realize that's what the problem is. Second thing is you've got to deal with transparency. The doctors don't give you the 10 tests because they want to. It's because of the 90% chance they'll get sued. And then we need to bring competition back to healthcare, get rid of certificate of need systems, and make sure that they can compete. We have to put the patient in the driver's seat. They've been in the back seat for way too long. And once we give the patient the ability to decide their health care, deciding which plan they want, that is when we will see magic happen. But we're going to have to make every part of the industry open up and show us where their warts are, because they all have them, and we need to fix this on behalf of the American people.
Yes, I get to decide how I get fucked.
Do you have a better way in 30 seconds?
Good job, Nick.
We're not talking about the real problem ever. We talk about why do we have the most expensive health care in the world? It's because the federal government got involved the same way they did with EVs, and they said, we're going to subsidize a particular kind of software back in 2008 under Obama, and they said, hey, we're going to do this. It's going to make everyone more productive. All of you that are watching have been to a doctor's office when the doctor's got his back to you and their hands on a keyboard.
Now I'm getting blindsided
the only industry in the world that's ever absorbed $1 trillion of IT and became less productive. They saw less patients per day as U.S. healthcare because they were subsidizing a certain kind of technology.
Now, who you choose as a spouse, that's up to you.
It was about picking winners and losers. Every time the federal government's involved, whether it's higher education, healthcare, or now the auto industry, things get more expensive and less competitive.
That was a great transition because we are going to move on the future of education in America.
Oh boy, here we go. Are you ready for woke?
The second Republican debate rolls on from Simi Valley.
We're done.
Informed patriotism is what we want.
How the fuck are we talking about Ronald Reagan? What didn't they have a question about gun reform? How are we showing Ronald Reagan? This is oh my God. If I had the power, I would annihilate like a good chunk, bro. A good chunk. I'm not even gonna lie. I would annihilate like a good chunk, bro. That's like the most brain dead thing on the face of this planet. You want to talk about crime and all this, then you want to give the man where we got the Mulford Act. This shit is just crazy, bro. Shit is crazy, bro. You have to understand, when they talk about crime, law and order, that is dog whistling for black people. Because that is who they believe is responsible for all the crime. So when the housing markets crash, I don't know who that is, right? That's just bad. That's corruption. When you lose your fucking pension or your savings, well, that's just bad and that's corruption. Well, no, who's responsible? Because you're saying black people are the ones who are doing this. Well, who's responsible for that? Well, it doesn't matter. It's an America problem. When you have inflation, right? Then it's like, well, this is just a problem. We got to figure it out. We got to do something. They love pointing fingers in certain areas. You get mofos who do tax embezzlement, right? Tax fraud, embezzlement, money laundering. Well, we have to look at the black people, though. Look at the black people. I've never in the history of living on this planet had a black person influence my fucking savings account. My 401k. I've never in the history of this fucking country had that happen, bro. Never in the history, bro. It wasn't a black person who caused people to jump off the fucking building due to financial bankruptcy. Okay? You can miss me with this fucking nonsense. And here's the thing. When you as far as look at the crime that they love to say, 60% of all this book. Damn, nigga. Oh my God. This man has succumbed to fucking Tax Network USA commercials. This man is broke. Kevin Sorbo is broke. This is sad. Anyways, back to what I was saying. That just caught me off guard. Like, damn, nigga, really? Ooh. One thing you have to understand is that when you account for education and income, guess what happens to that? Guess what happens to that crime? Guess what happens to that crime? Now, what I have yet to come across is why does the dominant society commit crime? Can someone explain that to me? I have yet to come across why that happens. Right? I have yet to come across that. Why are y'all committing crime? No one has yet to give me an answer. Because I can explain as far as our history with this country and where the socioeconomic disadvantage that we have. Why are you committing crime? That's what they have yet to explain. You want to know why? Because in America, the hustle is target black people. That's the hustle. Something wrong, black person. Something wrong, black person. What did Paul Mooney say? 1-800 blame a nigga. These mofos want to talk about, they're stealing from I don't know, the Gucci store. I really don't give a fuck who steals from the Gucci store. I don't know what to tell you. They're stealing from CVS. That's what's going on. This country's falling apart. I'm sorry, but I don't think the niggas who are stealing from CVS have anything to do with your savings account being dwindled. I don't know what to tell you on that regard. I don't think the niggas who are doing that have anything to do with you getting fired from your job and getting replaced by AI. I don't think they have anything to do with that. They love misdirecting and misguiding these poor, simple, dumb folk, all right? These poor, simple, dumb folk. For the most part, the USA is primarily California and New York. It is what it is. I don't know what to tell you. The majority of the population is not in your bumfuck state, all right, where it's nothing but grass and cows, okay? The majority of the country is in Cali and New York, pimping, okay? But these mofos who constantly live in bumfuck Michigan or something always love to see. I know you want to know what's going on with that California. Without California, you wouldn't be able to live where you live, stupid. You're welcome.
Trouble. They have lower scores in math and reading. There's chronic absenteeism. That's at record highs. And this has even been called education homicide. You say school choice is the answer, but South Carolina, your home state, still has not enacted universal school choice, and even the current expansion won't be fully implemented until 2027. Parents can't wait 4 years for a fix. So what would you do right now?
Well, and school choice isn't the only answer, but I'll tell you, it's not out of a lack of trying that we didn't try and get school choice in South Carolina. What I'll tell you, first of all, is we have to acknowledge the fact that 67% of our 8th graders are not proficient in reading or math. Over 80% of our 8th graders aren't proficient in history or civics.
Why?
And recently they came out and said our 12 and 13-year-olds are scoring at the lowest levels they've been scoring in reading and math in decades.
Are we going to look at the
teachers? The first thing we've got to do is we've got to make sure we catch our kids back up. We have to make sure they can read. A child that can't read by 3rd grade is 4 times less likely to graduate high school.
So are we going to focus on teachers and shitty teachers?
We need complete transparency in the classroom. No parent should ever wonder what's being said or taught to their child in the classroom. We need to make sure that we have school choice so that there's
What does that have to do with school choice?
Programs from the federal government down to the states and let states
they're afraid of the
decide
teachers
what
union. That's
education
why.
looks like in their states. And we need to
Republicans,
start building things in America
they be
again.
jerking
Let's
off
put
these fucking
vocational
unions,
classes
bro.
back in our high schools, and let's get our kids.
How about we
building
look at the
things that we
teachers
know
union?
that
How
we can
about that?
make. When we start to focus on that and really
How about we
bring
look
in
at these
that
teachers who are
parental
fucking the little
involvement,
kids?
That's when we'll start to see a difference. But
Who
we've
are
got
teaching
to
them
get parents
bullshit.
back included. We've got to quit spending time on this DEI and CRT and instead focus on financial literacy, on digital literacy, and on making sure that our kids know what they need to do to have the jobs of the next generation.
You mean the jobs, right? They didn't say anything about careers. They didn't say anything about ownership. They want a working class. That's what they want.
On their report cards. But minorities are not doing well with math and reading.
These mofos
Black
want you to be a working class. That's what they want.
29 points lower.
CRT. Yeah, CRT is really stopping someone from getting a job at Microsoft. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
You have to address all students. And look, in our state, Stuart, frankly, before I was governor, that gap was close to 50%. And what we did was institute more charter schools and more Renaissance schools and more public school choice in New Jersey with innovative solutions in cities like Camden, where now we took what was the worst school districts in America during my time, and we have now increased that by nearly 40% in terms of their proficiency. It can be done when you give people choice, but let's
choice is not the issue. What is the difference? Can someone tell me what's the difference between the public school, the charter
system
school?
Is no longer run by the public. It is run by the teachers' unions in this country. Randy Weinberg and her crew are absolutely strangling. They're taking the worst of their members and defending them rather than advocating for our kids. And when you the President of the United States sleeping with a member of the teachers union, there is no chance.
Look at that. I'll be damned.
Hold away from the teachers union every day. They have
now if they could have the same mentality with the police union.
Of their teachers, not for our students to
They're
be
advocating
the best
for the police and not the
President
citizens.
of the United States is to take on the teachers union. I did it in New Jersey, and I will do it as
Look
President
at
of
that,
the United
bro.
States.
If he could have that same mentality with the police union, maybe we would be somewhere.
DeSantis, I have a question for you.
Are you guys having trouble seeing me?
Florida's new
No
Black
Michigan
history
slander?
curriculum
I don't-
says, quote,
What did he say?
slaves develop skills which in some
I don't
instances
care
could
when
be
the
applied for
presidency,
their
as long as
personal
it's not
benefit.
Gavin Newsom or Ron
You have
DeSantis.
said
Trump won the debate without even
slaves
being there.
develop skills
Facts.
in spite of slavery, not because of it. But
what?
many are still hurt. For descendants of slaves, this is personal.
Uh-oh.
What is your message to them?
So first of all, that's a hoax that was perpetrated by Kamala Harris.
What?
We are not going to be doing that.
What?
Second of all,
What?
that was written by descendants of slaves. These are great Black history scholars, so we need to stop playing these games. Here's the deal. Our country's education system is in decline because it's focused on indoctrination, denying parents' rights.
What?
Florida represents
What
the
the fuck is he
revival
talking
of
about?
American education. We're ranked #1 in the nation in education by U.S. News and World Report. My wife and I, we have a 6, 5, and 3-year-old. This is personal to us.
What does that have to
We
do
didn't
with
just
Black
talk about
history?
universal school choice. We enacted universal school choice. We didn't just talk about Parents' Bill of Rights.
How do
We
you talk
enacted the
about
Parents' Bill of
school
Rights.
choice when we talk about
eliminated
Black
critical
history and
race
descendants of
theory, and we
slaves?
now have American civics and the Constitution in
Bro,
our
this is
schools in a
crazy.
really big way, just like President Reagan asked for in his farewell address back in 1989.
This is
Florida
crazy.
is showing how it's done. We're standing with parents, and our kids are benefiting.
What? I'm going to call this man Neo. What the heck?
What is your message for Governor DeSantis?
What?
There is not a redeeming quality in slavery. He and Kamala should have just taken the one sentence out. America has suffered because of slavery, but we've overcome that. We are the greatest nation on earth because we faced our demons in the mirror and made a decision. So often we
When
think
did we
that
face
all
our
the
demons in
issues,
the
you talk
mirror?
about crime and education and healthcare, we always think that those issues go back to slavery. Here's the challenge though. Black families survived slavery. We survived poll taxes and literacy tests. We survived discrimination being woven into the laws of our country. What was hard to survive was Johnson's Great Society, where they decided to put money, where they decided to take the black father out of the household to get a check in the mail, and you can
This
now
is
measure
wild.
that in unemployment, in crime, in devastation. If you want to restore hope, you've got to restore the family, restore capitalism, and put Americans back at work together
How
as
do
one
we
American family. Our nation continues
How do we
to
switch
go in
from
the right
Americans to
direction.
black
It's
people?
why I can say I have been discriminated against, but America is not a racist country.
Jeez.
Never, ever doubt who we are. We are the greatest country on God's green earth. And frankly, the city on the hill needs a brand new leader. And I'm asking for your vote.
This
Question for
goofball,
you,
bro.
Mr. Ramaswamy.
Fundraisers, boo.
10.7
I'm definitely not
million
voting for
students
Omar
in over
Epps.
18,000 public schools nationwide have the ability
He had to wrap
to
it up with a
change
nice
their
bow.
identity
Listen,
without
white
parental
people, listen.
notification.
It's not
Governor
racist.
Christie told Stewart last week that he would pass
Lord.
a federal law to protect
I
parental
don't even
rights.
know.
Would you try to do the same?
I have to be very clear about this.
I can't say this,
Transgenderism, especially in kids, is a mental health disorder. We have to acknowledge the truth of that for
can't
what it
say
is.
this, dude.
I met 2 young women early in this campaign.
Specifically on parental rights in schools.
Parents have the right to know. And you know what the hypocrisy of this is? Even New Hampshire failed to actually get past a piece of legislation here. The very people who say that this increases the risk of suicide are also the ones saying that parents don't have the right to know about that increased risk of suicide. And I'm sorry, it is not compassionate to affirm a kid's confusion. That is not compassion, that is cruelty. I met 2 young women, Chloe and
I would
Katie,
love to ask
early
him
in this
about
campaign,
homosexuality.
who are in their 20s, now regret getting double mastectomies and a hysterectomy.
I would love to
One of
ask
them
him
will
about
never have
homosexuality.
children. And the fact that we allowed that to happen
And log
in
cabin
this country
Republicans.
is barbaric.
Would you consider
So I
that
will
confusion
ban
as well?
genital mutilation or chemical
Okay, but I
castration
wanna know,
under the age of 18, and
specifically
parents have absolutely
Would you
the
try
right.
to pass a federal law that says parents should have that right?
We are going to require states absolutely have to
Then
follow
I
that
wanna
through.
ask Governor
We
Burgum just to
stand
follow
for
up on
parental
this
rights.
because
Yes.
you in your state
The answer
you
is
do
just
not
yes.
have a law that says parents can't be notified, but you want to be president. Would you try to pass a federal law to say parents have that right?
I think this is a state's issue, but I do want to say something, because all night long we've been talking about issues about how it's broken in Washington, and I respect all of the people on the stage here for their 100+ years of public service. Thank you. But the reason why we're not talking about education or health care or safety being a problem in North Dakota is because we have a business leader. I've got more experience as a business leader than I think this whole group combined. I know I've created more jobs than everybody else on stage, thousands of high-paying jobs that have real meaning. So as a business leader, you come in and you treat the taxpayer like a customer. So in North Dakota, instead of fighting with the teachers' unions, we actually created a K-12 coordinating council. Everybody gets in the room, and the customer is the student.
But you do understand that this is an issue that many people in America really are concerned about, worried about parents and notification in schools.
Yes, and that's why we have 50 platforms of innovation. That's why we have states. There are certain things the federal government is supposed to do. It's not the Department of Education. That needs to be assembled. We got to move it back to states. Do what we did in North Dakota. Instead of like, oh, here's a choice school and here's an old school, the old way with the teachers union, the kids are trapped. We made every school in North Dakota an innovation school. Every school got out from under the red tape, and the things that help teach the values that we're trying to get, like 4-H, like FFA, like Boy Scouts.
It's just say it's a states' rights issue. That's nothing to do with the federal government.
Is now at the top of the median SAT scores in the country right now.
Vice President Pence, the Department of Homeland Security warns that violence against LGBTQ+ people is on the rise and intensifying.
Oh, this should be
According to a recent study, members of that community are 9 times more likely to be victims of violent hate crimes.
They're asking about the alphabet at a GOP debate.
This community from violent attacks.
Black people, wake the fuck up.
As President of the United States, I'll stand up for the safety and the civil liberties of every American.
I would never in a million years think this would be a question.
And I want the American people to know that. But I want to answer the question as well, Dana, that you just asked Doug Burke.
Goodness gracious.
Because by way of full disclosure, Chris, you mentioned the president's situation. My wife isn't a member of the teachers union, but I got to admit I've been sleeping with a teacher for 38 years. And so full disclosure. Look, education is a state and local function.
Bro, get off the stage.
The state of Indiana has one of the very first school choice programs in the country.
Get your boomer
And when I was
self
governor of
off
the state of Indiana, we doubled it. And as to your question, Dana, let's be very, very clear.
I'd rather listen
when
to
the
Biden.
Linn-Mar Community Schools in Iowa had a policy where you had to have a permission slip from your parents to get a Tylenol, but you could get a gender transition plan without notifying your parents. I weighed in with a foundation. That's not bad policy. That's crazy. We're going to stand up for the rights of parents, and we're going to pass a federal ban on transgender chemical or surgical surgery anywhere in the country. We've got to protect our kids from this radical gender ideology.
How can you tell a parent what to do with their child?
We've got to empower parents at the state level with the ability to choose
that
where
I
their kids
disagree
go to
with.
school,
If the parents and the child want to make a poor decision,
you empower
they have every
parents, and our schools will straighten up and reflect our values and focus
they
on
have
the
every
basics
right. That's
faster
what
than you could
I don't know
possibly
how that
imagine.
would. That's not
Next subject.
There's no way the Supreme Court allows that.
China is investing. If you talk over everybody, we lose time. China is investing heavily in their tech companies. $280 billion every year on semiconductor research and development. That is one CHIPS Act per year. Governor DeSantis, you say companies like Google and Meta have too much power. Doesn't going after them give China an edge?
No, I think you look at how our society's developed. They have huge amount of power over our society. They've cracked down on free speech. We're not saying you don't want them to do business, but you want it to be a free market. And right now they're monopolies. But this issue of China, I think, is really going to be fundamental. We have subcontracted out so much of our national needs to the CCP. We rely on them for a whole host of issues. We need to reshore and we need to decouple all those important industries. We need to get that back in the United States. They are our top geopolitical adversary by a country mile. Xi Jinping's got huge ambitions, not only in the Asia Pacific, but as you mentioned earlier, in our region. But ultimately, we've got to beat him on the economy. And so that's what we'll do as President of the United States.
Governor Christie, I wanted to follow up on this because 22% of American workers fear their jobs will be lost to a robot. And you said in the past that the free market is the way to go. Would you retrain workers who lose a job to artificial intelligence, and to do what?
Well, look, what I think artificial intelligence offers us is an extraordinary opportunity to expand well beyond
100%.
the productivity that we have now.
There's a lot
and to have Americans be able to be involved in that revolution, Dana.
Exactly.
You know, each time we have shown incredible innovation and progress in this country. What we've done with it is to expand all kinds of new, even unthought of opportunities.
You don't stop
for folks.
improvement and evolution.
We have to do retraining for folks who lose some of their jobs, and we should be doing that. And we should have more training available both at the county college level and the local level for people to be able to access it. So yes, I would be in favor of that. But this is a much bigger issue than that. We can't be afraid of innovation. America has been the great innovator of this world over the last 250 years. A technological innovator, a manufacturing innovator, and a freedom and governmental innovator. And that's why America has to continue to stand strong in the world, pro-innovation, pro-progress.
Exactly.
And I will tell you this, as President of the United States, what I will do is to make sure that every innovator in this country gets the government the hell off its back and out of its pocket so that it can innovate and bring great new inventions to our country that will make everybody's lives better.
I don't know about that one.
Mr. Ramaswamy, TikTok is banned on government-issued devices because of its ties to the Chinese government. Yet you joined TikTok after dinner with boxer and influencer Jake Paul. Should the commander-in-chief be so easily persuaded by an influencer?
So the answer is I have a radical idea for the Republican Party. We need to win elections. And part of how we win elections is reaching the next generation of young Americans where they are. So when I get into office, I've been very clear. Kids under the age of 16 should not be using addictive social media. We're only going to ever get to declaring independence from China, which I favor, if we actually win. So while the Democrats are running rampant, reaching the next generation 3-1, there's exactly one person in the Republican Party which talks a big game about reaching young people, and that's me. And let me level with all of you. I'm the new guy here, and so I know I have to earn your trust. What do you see? You see a young man who's in a bit of a hurry, maybe a little ambitious, bit of a know-it-all, it seems at times. I'm here to tell you, no, I don't know it all. I will listen. I will have the best people, the best and brightest in this country, whatever age they are, advising me. We will be probably many of the people on this stage included. That's how I built my companies. I want to be challenged.
What
I want
company?
people who disagree with me.
Company hasn't even turned a
America
profit.
great because we're not a perfect nation. We're founded on the pursuit of perfection. That is what makes America great. And that is why we will end it once we win this election.
I have to jump. I have to jump in.
You're in TikTok? Let me get this straight. You're going to use TikTok to win the election and then end TikTok.
TikTok is one of the most dangerous
Sounds
social
like
media
fascism
apps
to
that
me.
we could have. And what you've got, I honestly, every time I hear you, I feel a little bit dumber for what you say. Because I can't believe that here you've got a TikTok situation. What they're doing is these 150 million people are on TikTok. That means they can get your contacts, they can get your financial information, they can get your emails, they can get text messages, they can get all of these things.
This is very important for our party.
Exactly what they're doing.
This is very important for our party, and I'm going to say
you've gone and you've helped China make medicines in China, not America. You're now wanting kids to go and get on the social media that's dangerous for all of us. You went and you were in business with the Chinese that gave Hunter Biden $5 million. We can't trust you. We can't trust you. We can't have TikTok in our kids' lives.
This is very important.
Mr. Ramaswamy, you have 15 seconds.
I think, excuse me.
People are stupid.
You have 15 seconds, Mr. Ramaswamy.
Thank you. I think we would be better served as a Republican Party if we're not sitting here hurling personal insults and actually have a legitimate debate about policy following Reagan's 11th Commandment in his honor. And the answer is that is what actually makes our country strong. And I believe
Stop attacking me. Stop attacking me.
Let's have a legitimate disagreement. That's what I would
What
say.
a baby, bro. Holy hell.
Governor DeSantis, I'm going straight.
On this stage
Sir, we will have to cut your mic, and
What
I don't
a
want to do that.
baby.
I don't. So, Governor DeSantis, let me go to you.
You're not cut his mic?
President Putin
Man,
has
didn't even
ordered
say anything this entire
assassinations
time.
across Europe, cheated on arms control treaties with the U.S., and seeks to work with China to force our decline. President Reagan believed that if you want to prevent a war, you better be prepared to fight one. Today, the Republican Party is at odds over aid to Ukraine.
He had gone.
The price tag so far is $76 billion. But is it in our best interest to degrade Russia's military for less than 5% of what we pay annually on defense, especially when there are no U.S. soldiers in the fight?
It's in our interest to end this war, and that's what I will do as president. We are not going to have a blank check. We will not have U.S. troops, and we're going to make the Europeans do what they need to do. But they've sent money to pay bureaucrats' pensions and salaries and funding small businesses halfway around the world. Meanwhile, our own country is being invaded. We don't even have control of our own territory. We have got to defend the American people before we even worry about all these other things. And I watch these guys in Washington, D.C., and they don't care about the American people. They don't care about the fentanyl deaths. They don't care about the communities being overrun because of this border. They don't care about the Mexican drug cartels. So as Commander-in-Chief, I will defend this country's sovereignty.
What are you going to do about the Mexican drug cartels?
It's never been a territorial.
You want to know how you stop the Mexican drug cartels?
The resources that we send
stop penalizing drugs. That's how you stop it.
It's a loan. It is not 90% of the money that we send over there is loan. Well, we can talk about this, but at the end of the day, 90% of the money that we send over there is actually in the form of a loan. It's not actually not be paid by Ukraine. It's paid by the NATO, our NATO allies.
So I think it's a good topic.
I think it's a really good topic too. But I will say let's debate the fact that our national vital interest is in degrading the Russian military. By degrading the Russian military, we actually keep our homeland safer, we keep our troops at home, and we all understand Article 5 of NATO.
We have to level with the American people.
I thought you said something about waiting until your turn to talk. So at the end of the day, I'm going to finish my, I'll be happy to debate this.
I'll respond.
I'll look forward to this one right now. So at the end of the day, when you think about the fact that if you want to keep American troops at home, attack on NATO territory would bring us and our troops in. By degrading the Russian military, we reduce, if not eliminate, an attack on NATO territory.
Finish that exchange. We have to level with the American people. We have to level with the American people on this issue. The reality is just because Putin is not Putin's an evil dictator does not mean that Ukraine is good. This is a country that has banned 11 opposition parties.
A win for Russia is a win for China.
That is not true. We're driving Russia.
A win for Russia is a win for China.
Excuse me, Nick. You'll have your chance.
You like China. That's why
you'll have your chance in just a moment. The hurling personal insults isn't helping. China is the real enemy, and we're driving Russia further into China's arms. We need a reasonable peace plan to end this, especially this is a country whose president just last week was hailing
if you let Putin have Ukraine, that's a green light to China to take Taiwan.
We need a
peace comes through strength.
We need a reasonable plan to peace.
Governor Christie.
The Communist Party of China is the real enemy.
Governor Christie. President President
Vivek
Biden's first 2 years have brought China, Russia, and Iran closer together. Are we focused too much on Ukraine and not enough on this threat from the New World Order?
No, they're all connected, Stuart. They're all connected. The Chinese are paying for the Russian war in Ukraine. The Iranians are supplying more sophisticated weapons, and so are the North Koreans now as well, with the encouragement of the Chinese. The naivete on this stage from some of these folks is extraordinary. Look, I understand people want to go and talk to Putin. Guess what? So did George W. Bush. So did Barack Obama. So did Donald Trump. And so did Joe Biden when he said a small invasion wouldn't be so bad. Every one of them has been wrong. And the fact of the matter is, we need to say right now that the Chinese-Russian alliance is something we have to fight against, and we are not going to solve it by going over and cuddling up to Vladimir Putin. Look, Donald Trump said Vladimir Putin was brilliant and a great leader. This is the person who is murdering people in his own country, and now not having enough blood, he's now going to Ukraine to murder innocent civilians and kidnap 20,000 children. And let me tell you, if you think that's where it's going to stop, if we give him any of Ukraine, next will be Poland. This is a guy who said, this is a guy in 1991 who said that was the darkest moment in world history when the Soviet Union fell. Listen, everybody, he wants to put the old band back together, and only America can stop it. And when I'm president, we will.
Governor Burgum, I want to get to Governor Burgum. He hasn't had a chance. I have a question I think you're going to really like. or at least you have experience in it. And we need to talk about America's farmers, because there is a foreign policy connection here. The U.S. and China are in this fierce economic competition. It's hurting American businesses, and there is blowback against American farmers because China then targets them in retaliation. How would you, as president, protect American farmers and ranchers from that kind of retaliation from a foreign government like China?
Well, first of all, we've got the best farmers and ranchers in the world right here in America. If they have a level playing field, they can outcompete anyone in the world. But this is part of the larger issue that we're talking about here, which is we're in a Cold War with China. The Biden administration won't admit that. But we're also in an economic war through what we're doing with agriculture and energy. And we're also in a war with them relative to cyber war. We get attacked every day in North Dakota, every state, every school district, our tribes, all being attacked every day by either China, Russia, Iran, or North Korea. And now we've got a Biden administration whose whole policy is appeasement. They're out there, creating the world, making it less safe. $6 billion they traded for 5 people. They've just now set a price on anyone's head who's a tourist from America, who's a student from America, for kidnapping. If you want more kidnapping, put a price on it. And then they're also helping Iran get to have more closer to nuclear weapon, which pushes all of the Middle East closer to China and Russia. The whole thing is absurd. And then, of course, we're going to give Ukraine to Russia, and then we're going to give Taiwan to China, and think that's a foreign policy. That will make our nation less successful, make us more poor. And at the core of all that is energy policy, because China imports 10 million barrels of oil a day. They're the largest importer in the world, and we've had 4 cabinet members from the Biden administration there this summer, and none of them talked about U.S. energy. The first one to go to each of those countries was Kerry, to talk about the folly of the climate policy, which is making the world less stable. It's empowering dictators. It's not about climate change that we need worried about. It's about the Biden climate policies that are actually the existential threat to America's future.
Thank you.
Can I speak about
Governor Haley, Mexico's president called who supports sending U.S. military into the country, quote, scoundrels. Mexico is the United States' most important trade partner and border security. You say you will send special operations to attack the cartels in Mexico. So, this means boots on the ground, drone strikes?
It means special operations. It's how we deal with our terrorists. And what you need to do is understand that Mexico's not being a good partner if we lost 75,000 Americans last year. Mexico's not being a good partner if they're letting the cartels get away with what they're getting away with. What we will do is we will make sure that we send in our special operations, and we will take out the cartels, we'll take out their operations, we'll take out anything that's doing it. But we're going to go after China, because China is the one sending the fentanyl in the first place. And we will end all normal trade relations until China stops sending fentanyl. And then we'll do the special operations, and we'll get it from both sides. This is where President Trump went wrong. He focused on trade with China. He didn't focus on the fact that they were buying up our farmland. He didn't focus on the fact that they were killing Americans. He didn't focus on the fact that they were stealing $600 billion in intellectual property. He didn't focus on the fact that they put a spy base off our shores in Cuba. They didn't focus enough on the fact that all of our law enforcement drones in America are Chinese, and we've got all these little surveillance cells. We need to start focusing on what keeps Americans safe. That hasn't happened in a long time. As your president, I will make sure every American is safe, and we'll do whatever it takes to make that happen.
All right. I want to get to Senator Scott. You're all auditioning for the job as president of the United States. You want to earn these votes.
They're auditioning,
but the
all
world's
right.
problems land in the Oval Office.
Notice
During the
words that
presidential
they use.
debates in the year 2000, neither Al Gore nor George W. Bush was asked about al-Qaeda. Yet, just 1 year later, al-Qaeda's attack on September 11th claimed nearly 3,000 lives. And the farther we get from September 11th, the closer we are to September 10th. Senator Scott, you have no executive branch experience.
We can't talk about slavery,
what has
but they can
prepared
talk
you
about
to protect
11th.
the nation from a major man-made national security
We can't talk about generational
crisis?
trauma.
One of the things I've had the
but they can
good
talk
fortune
about
of doing is serving on
September
committees
11th
in the United
every
States
5
Senate,
seconds.
like the Senate Armed Services Committee. I'm on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, also on the Finance Committee and the Banking Committee. Talk about addressing the issue of fentanyl. I've written the legislation, passed it through the Banking Committee and the Senate that would freeze the assets and sanction the accounts of the Mexican cartels. There are weapons that we have within the arsenal that I was able to get past 23-0 in the polarizing Senate as it is. I've also understood without question the fact that if you look at the details before 9/11, there was information and intelligence that was available that suggested an attack was coming. Having the right intelligence partners with us is key to making sure that we prevent the next 9/11 from ever happening. Having that experience for the last 10 years is really important in getting the job done.
30 seconds to you, Mr. Pence.
Well, I think you asked a question about executive experience. I think it's vitally important. And I stand before you today as a candidate for president because I think this country's in a lot of trouble. And you hear the fire on the stage tonight. You hear the fire in all of our voices. And it's because Joe Biden has weakened this country at home and abroad. This is a time for those of us that have the experience, the tested experience, and a commitment to the conservative agenda that Ronald Reagan brought forward in this party of a strong national defense, standing with our allies, standing up to our enemies, supporting limited government and traditional values, need to step forward.
Understood.
Because, frankly, our party does face a time for choosing, as they said at the top of this debate, whether we're going to stand on the foundation of that conservative agenda that Ronald Reagan poured, or whether we're going to follow the siren song of populism unmoored to conservative principles. I'm the most experienced, most qualified, and most consistent conservative in this field, and I'm ready to lead America at home and abroad on day one.
Time for choosing to go to a break. Ilya.
None of that is landing,
Reagan
bro.
built a coalition
All of that is falling flat,
decades.
bro.
Can any of these candidates do the same? We'll take that
Bro,
out when
this
the debate
country is
continues.
done. This country is done, bro. This country is done. I don't have to tell you, bro. And Democrats aren't even doing debates, right? Jesus, Lord in heaven. This country is done. I hope everyone knows this, right? I hope everyone knows this. Democrats aren't doing debates because the fucking Biden can't speak. And these mofos is a bunch of just clowns. Lord help us. Lord help us. Lord help us, bro. I don't even know what to say, man. Like, what are we doing? Honestly, at this point, Trump is it. Honestly, at this point, because this debate really just made everyone go, wow, I really miss Trump. Because DeSantis, hot damn. Vivek, Lord, stop attacking me. I don't love China. Stop attacking me. Christie, I mean, Christie made some good points here and there, but I can't respect somebody who talks shit about a dude who's not even there. How you gonna talk shit about Donald Trump and he's not there, bro? I know you're watching. They're gonna start calling you Donald Trump, and what do you say, Donald Duck? Now say that shit when Trump was there, bro. These mofos, that just lets me know you're a coward. You're the same dude who let Trump talk shit about your wife, bro. Like, do you honestly think I'm gonna, like, believe anything you say about what you're gonna do for the country? You couldn't even defend your wife, pimpin'. Your wife on national television. If you don't get the fuck out of my face about what you'll do for America and all this, sorry, bruh. Sorry, bruh. Lord, who else do we have? I don't even know the other two old people. The two old white men on the end, I don't know about it. I don't even know who they are, bro. This man, doesn't he, like, for North Carolina or some shit like that? I don't know. He's in some bumfuck state. Tim Scott. Tim Scott has potential, but he's so scared of white people, it's insane. Tim Scott is terrified of fucking his white base of the Republican Party. And you can hear it when he talks. You can just hear it. Right at the end, he was talking too much about race. He saw white people going, did he turn? Did he become one of those? He was like, I gotta end strong. And just to let you guys know, America is not racist. All right. You were talking too much of that blackity black stuff, okay, about how you've been discriminated against and all. I know. I thought you went woke for a second. He's too scared, bro. He's too scared. And I don't even know who's over on the Democrats. These mofos actually are not going to have anyone run against Biden, which is, I don't know what to tell you. Trump has this in the bag, bro. And McConnell, this man McConnell is using his doorbell to attack Trump. I hope you all understand this, right? Democrats have nothing to do with what's going on with Trump. This is all Republicans. The Republicans, GOP, RNC, despise Trump. They hate that man with a fucking passion. They probably want him in prison more than anything else, bro. They want him in prison more than anything else. Just saw what the judge said. He was a fraud, business accounts and fraud. I'm like, okay, which Republican hasn't done that?
Right back in.
Which Republican? How about we look at Vivek,
where
bro?
Gas is nearing $6 a gallon.
Lord.
Oil is close to $100 a barrel.
Interesting
again.
debate. They definitely turned up the heat a little.
Drill,
Could
baby,
you do a poll
drill.
on who's the best candidate
but the
right
courts
now?
won't let you. Mr. Ramaswamy, how would you bring down prices without immediate drilling?
I don't know.
Well, look, I think that we do have to run through the courts and get through that administrative state to make sure we're using the natural resources here at home. But here's the other thing that we can do that's easy.
Take forever, Mr. Ramaswamy.
And it addresses the national debt as well as brings down prices. Put people back to work. We are using taxpayer money to pay people more to stay at home than to go to work. That is wrong. That contributes to our supply chain crisis. It contributes to inflation. That's the easiest way to unlock
Who's
this
getting paid
economy.
more to stay at home than to go to work?
We have to put the Federal Reserve back in its place. This is an agency that has gone rogue. So in January 2026, when I have the opportunity as our next commander-in-chief, we will have a new chairman of the Federal Reserve who places priority on dollar stability, and then most importantly, send packing 75% of the administrative state, reduce the federal employee headcount by 75%, rescind 50% of unconstitutional federal regulations that are shackling businesses, both large and small. I've offered a very clear, practical plan to do it. That's how we unleash the economy. That's how we revive the integrity of a three-branch constitutional republic rather than this technocracy and aristocracy in the administrative state.
Response, please.
Yeah, okay, sure, buddy.
I think one of the signature accomplishments of our administration was in just a few short years, we achieved energy independence. We became a net exporter of energy for the first time in 75 years. But on day one, Joe Biden declared a war on energy, which was no surprise because when Joe Biden ran for president, he said he was going to end fossil fuels. And they've been working overtime to do that ever since. If I'm president of the United States, we're going to open up federal lands. We're going to unleash American energy. We're going to have an all-of-the-above energy strategy. And I have a plan that actually would not only reclaim energy independence, but in 2006, America lost our position as the leading energy producer on Earth. I believe in the next 10 years, with the right policies and experienced leadership in the White House, we can reclaim our role as the leading energy producer on Earth, and that'll grow the American economy for generations to come.
Governor Haley, reaction to that, please.
As the only person who's leading an energy state, could I answer the energy question?
No, Governor Haley.
To you, the first thing I'll say is what I saw at the United Nations is energy security is national security. We need a president that understands we have to partner with our producers and make sure that we have their backs. What you don't need is a president who is against energy independence. Ron DeSantis is against fracking. He's against drilling. He's been against, you did it. He always talks about what happens on day one. You better watch out, because what happens on day two is when you're in trouble. Day two in Florida, you banned fracking, you banned offshore drilling, you did it on federal lands, and you took green subsidies that you didn't have to take.
Governor DeSantis, you mentioned you have the right to respond. 30 seconds.
Damn.
I just did a plan out in West Texas for American energy dominance. We're going to choose Midland over Moscow. We're going to choose the Marcellus over the mullahs, and we're going to choose Bakken over Beijing, and we are going to lower your gas prices. We are going to get that job done because it's important for our national security, it's important for jobs, and that's one of the best ways to drive down inflation.
Governor DeSantis, Governor DeSantis is...
So the only answer to that, because this is ridiculous.
DeSantis, this question is for you.
Our voters enacted a constitutional amendment
banned it before
that
they
doesn't
voted.
allow. No, it's not true.
You banned it before they voted,
Nikki,
and not only that, fracking wasn't. They didn't vote on fracking.
She's just totally wrong. They voted it in. That's what we did. Onshore, we do it in Florida. We don't have as much as maybe West Texas, but we do it. But that was a constitution.
Oh, my fault. Did I put Tulsi? I meant Nikki Haley, not Tulsi.
My plan will get the job done.
They look the same. They look the same. Sorry.
And the voters didn't even vote on
not Tulsi. My fault.
We are
I meant Nikki.
with this question for Governor DeSantis. Governor, excuse me, we cannot talk over each other. We must respect each other's
Y'all
time.
voted for Tulsi.
My apologies for that.
I'm ready, Stuart.
Governor DeSantis, this is your question. The Biden administration is hell-bent on student loan forgiveness, but you say colleges should be on the hook when graduates cannot pay their debt. How does that address the cost of college? The cost of college itself?
Because the colleges are going to have to make a decision. Do we expand the gender studies department, knowing some of those graduates may not have great learning opportunities? No, they're going to focus on the things that really matter. They're going to make different choices. They're going to try to graduate people in 4 years. I also just want to come back to something Dana
if you have to pay it back anyway?
Because I was just at the 9/11 memorial.
Am I missing something?
My wife and I were, but it's very touching to be there, and it affected my life
Colleges
because I ended
don't
up
care.
joining the military as a result of that.
You have to pay it back anyway.
Kid, minimum
They
wage
don't care if
in
it's a
Florida.
gender studies,
I
a
ended up
freaking
getting
business,
through Yale and
or an
Harvard
art
Law School,
degree.
and
What is he
somehow came out
talking
more
about?
conservative than when I went in, and that is not easy to do. Had a lot of opportunities to make money, but I wanted to serve, and I'll never forget coming back on the plane from Iraq, landing in Coronado,
so
California,
stupid.
North Island, and feeling that breeze off the Pacific Ocean and say, you know what? I am lucky to have been born an American, and I think being able to serve, and I'll be the first president elected since 1988 who's actually served overseas in a war. I think that's going to help me as commander-in-chief to know how you see these issues and understand that there are real lives at stake for people that wear the uniform.
And we know that Governor Haley's husband is serving right now as well, and we thank him for that. Senator Scott, the national debt has nearly doubled in your time in office. The approval rate for Congress is at a mere 19%. If this were a business, you'd probably all be fired in Washington, but you're here tonight looking for a promotion. In 2013, Governor Haley hired you for the Senate. I'd like you to tell her why you should be promoted to CEO of the nation instead of her.
Certainly. One of the things I'd say is if you look at our national debt of $33 trillion, I would love to have an opportunity to have this country pass a balanced budget amendment. That would constrain the spending in Washington in the same fashion that it does in every state in our nation, number one. Number two, if you want to actually reduce our national debt, you have to grow our economy. In order to grow our economy, you need to create about 10 million jobs to grow our economy at 5%. You can do that in three specific sectors. Number one, the energy sector. We could create between 3 and 3.5 million jobs if we unleashed all of our energy resources. America is we're the richest country if you combine coal, gas, and oil. Why not unleash all of our resources? Number two, we've lost 100,000 factories. 100,000 factories in the last 25 years. If we continued on my Made in America plan, we could bring jobs back to America in a similar fashion that we did when I wrote the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. We actually lowered the corporate tax from 35% to 21%, reshored or repatriated $1.7 trillion. We brought the unemployment rates for African Americans, Hispanics, and Asians to the lowest level in the history of the country, and a 70-year low for women.
Governor Haley,
white people don't want to hear that.
You think you would deserve the promotion over him?
Look, I appreciate Tim. We've known each other a long time, but he's been there 12 years and he hasn't done any of that. He hasn't. They've only given 4 budgets on time in 40 years. He was part of that. He increased the national debt. He voted for the spending.
You voted
he has made sure that the borders are open and they haven't done anything. Look at everything
in South Carolina.
12 years. Where
Bro, this is for Tulsi.
I voted no.
Not Tulsi. What's her name? Nikki.
We've waited and nothing has happened.
Here's what you've done.
years.
Here's the thing that I just find interesting.
DeSantis, where are you coming from?
Let me finish
All
this.
these guys have said
Here's the
things,
fact.
and I appreciate a lot of the things they're saying.
Nikki
I'm
Haley.
the only one up here who's gotten in the big fights and has delivered big victories for the people of Florida, and that's what it's all about. You can always talk, but when it gets hot in there, when they're shooting arrows at you, are you going to stand up for parents' rights, to keep the state free? Are you going to be able to do all those things? And in the state of Florida, because of our success, the Democratic Party lies in ruins. We have won the big fights. We have turned our state into a Republican state. People respond to leadership. I've done it while others have talked about it.
CEO? We actually have a CEO in the White House, which is what I think we need. If I may just briefly interject here, we need a zero-based budgeting. That's the way businesses are actually run. Start with zero as the baseline for the budget, and then see what's actually necessary. There isn't a blue state or a red state in this union that does it. The federal government doesn't do it. But successful companies, including the ones that I've built as a CEO, will do it. And I think we need a CEO in the White House to get that done.
Governor Burgum runs a state that way. Yes,
tech
go
questions,
ahead.
you didn't ask the only guy that's been in tech. You have energy questions, you don't ask anything. But I'm just going to say right now, when you say nobody else has done it, the energy plans that have all been announced in the last month by these other folks on stage, we're already doing it in North Dakota. The border plans they're already talking about, we've got troops down at the border flying helicopter missions from North Dakota, from San Diego to the Gulf Coast, trying to stop transnational criminal organizations from inflicting the invasion and the mass casualties in our state. And on the energy policy, we're already doing it. And it's not saying when nobody else done the big fights. North Dakota was leading the charge. We won the battle to get the Biden administration, who was ignoring the law. They were the first administration since Truman that wasn't holding the quarterly required lease sales, and we won that in federal court. WOTUS, we won that in federal court. We're fighting the Biden administration on 20 fronts. To say that nobody's fighting the big fights, just look at the record of what we're doing right now. Energy, economy, national security, have been talking about it since day one, and now finally, good, we're having the conversation about it, but we've got the answer in North Dakota.
Governor Burgum, let's talk big government. This question's for you. Big government keeps getting bigger. 1/5 of all new jobs this year have been created by the government. Governor Burgum, you say you want to shrink the size of government, but it has been a century since any president has done that. Why would you be any different?
Well, because we've done it in North Dakota. When I took office, we shrunk the state budget general fund by 27% in the first 4 months I was in office, and all the trains still running on time. Why? Because you had a business leader that was actually there. Inside of every government job, there's 10 or 20% of mind-numbing, soul-sucking work that even the state and federal employees don't want to do, and you can engineer that work out of the job. That would free up right there 20% of 2 million civilian employees. And by the way, we've got 10 million jobs open. They'd have plenty to do, and they could be in generating taxes instead of being paid by taxes. This is totally possible to do it if you have somebody that understands, because having worked in technology for 30 years, everything we had to do was to be better, faster, and cheaper the next day. That's what we can do in government. That's what we're doing in North Dakota.
All right. Governor DeSantis.
Okay.
I want to ask you about something that I think is on a lot of Republicans' minds. This election could come down to less than 50,000 votes in 3 states. Abortion was on the ballot in 6 states in 2022. Republicans lost all of them. Next year, abortion will likely be on the ballot in Arizona. That is a must-win state. Governor DeSantis, how are you going to win over independent, pro-choice voters in Arizona?
Same way we did in Florida. We won the greatest Republican victory in a governor's race in the history of the state, over 1.5 million votes. We were winning places like Miami-Dade County, Palm Beach, that nobody thought was possible because we were leading with purpose and conviction. I reject this idea that pro-lifers are to blame for midterm defeats. I think there's other reasons for that. The former president, he's missing in action tonight. He's had a lot to say about that. He should be here explaining his comments to try to say that pro-life protections are somehow a terrible thing. I want him to look into the eyes and tell people who've been fighting this fight for a long time. My wife and I earlier today were at the gravesite of President and Mrs. Reagan, and I noticed that there was a quote where it says, "Every single person has purpose and worth." We're better off when everybody counts. And I think we should stand for what we believe in. I think we should hold the Democrats accountable for their extremism, supporting abortion all the way up until the moment of birth. That is infanticide, and that is wrong.
Does anyone know any Democrat that supports all the way up
Governor
until the
Christie,
moment
do
of
you
birth?
think that Republicans...
Yes, I will.
Okay, Governor Christie, do you think that Republicans can do that in Arizona if this referendum is on the ballot there?
Yeah, because I did it in New Jersey, Dana. You know, it's...
Then why are all these other states losing?
Well, because they don't have leaders in those states who are leading the fight the way it should be led. And in fact is, look, I was the governor here of the only blue state that's represented up here. This is where the fight is really tough for Republicans. And those are the states that we're going to have to try to win if we're going to win the White House back. And what we did was 14 times, Dana, in 8 years, I vetoed Planned Parenthood funding. 14 times. No one else gets it that much. The Democrats just kept sending it to me, and I kept saying no because I believe in life, but I also believe in states' rights. And I think we fought hard against Roe versus Wade for decades to say that states should make these decisions. So we're going to have those fights in the states. But what you need is a leader who can talk to people and make them understand that if you're pro-life, you have to be pro-life for the entire life, not just the 9 months in the womb. And we talked a lot about fentanyl tonight, and we haven't spoken one moment about treatment. But we need to make sure that for the drug-addicted 16-year-old on the floor of the county lockup, her life is precious too. And we need to be providing treatment to cure this as a disease that it is. If you're pro-life, you got to be pro-life for the entire life. We start talking like that, they're going to do what I did in the blue state, which was get reelected with 61% of the vote and won 70% of independents and 51% of Latinos because I told them the truth from my heart.
Thank you.
Vice President Pence. The latest Univision poll found that 73% of Latino voters think the Republican Party doesn't care about or is being hostile toward them, the Hispanic community.
What?
Only Governor DeSantis has translated his campaign into Spanish. How will you reach out to Latino voters?
Well, I promise you that we're going to continue to build bridges
Black
to every
people,
community
night-night.
in this country. And I'm incredibly proud of that tax cut and tax reform bill. I worked on Capitol Hill to help get that bill passed into law, the largest tax cut in American history. We saw literally the lowest unemployment ever recorded for Hispanic Americans, the lowest unemployment ever recorded for African Americans, 50-year low for women. So I think the President of the United States needs to be a champion for the American dream for every American. It begins with the unborn and the aged and the infirm. And it begins with every ethnic group in this country. And I promise you, if I'm President of the United States, I'll be a champion. I'll be a champion for the American dream, for Hispanic Americans and for every American. So help me God.
Senator Scott, reaction?
Yes, there's no doubt that if you lead by example,
as an Asian Mexican,
it's the best way to get the job done. If you look at my office in the Senate, my chief of staff is the only Hispanic female chief of staff in the Senate. I hired her because she was the best, highest qualified person we have. What we need are leaders who lead by example. And I will simply say, I would love to finish my conversation with Nikki as it relates to the job that needs to get done. Nikki offered a 10-cent gas tax increase in South Carolina. Talk about someone who has never seen a federal dollar she doesn't like. 10 cents on the gallon in South Carolina. As the UN ambassador, you literally put $50,000 on curtains in a $15 million subsidized location. Next.
You got bad information. First of all, I fought the gas tax in South Carolina multiple times against the establishment.
Just go to YouTube.
Against the establishment.
Just go to YouTube
you want to know what that 10 cent
Yep.
was? When they wouldn't pass the gas tax, the establishment and the companies wanted me to do it so much that I said the only way I will
Here's
pass
what you have
it
to
if
do.
you will give us three.
All you have to do is go watch Nikki Haley on YouTube.
If you will give me 3 times the deduction in income tax, then I will look at your gas tax, which is why it didn't happen.
Exactly, Ron.
Secondly, on the 50 million.
Here is a nice part.
Secondly, on the curtains, do your homework, Tim, because Obama bought those curtains.
Did you send them back?
It's in the press.
Did you send them back?
It's the State Department.
Did you send them back?
Did you send them back? You're the one that works in Congress.
Oh my gosh.
You get it
You
done.
hung them on your curtains.
They were there before I even showed up at the residence. You are scrapping. You are scrapping.
Yo, Nikki's about that life.
I cut taxes. He said, I loaded up our
You wanted a gas tax.
Nikki about that life, boy.
This
is awesome.
Not intend to
Nikki
go
about
ahead
that
like
life.
this.
That's awesome.
In fact, we're about to take a commercial break. We'll have more of the second Republican debate live from the Reagan Presidential Library in just a few moments.
She was like, all right, you want to go this route? Let's do it. She about that life, boy. She about that life. I'll give her that one. I'll give her that, bro. Cause hot damn. I don't even know, like, I don't even think I understand what happened. He was like, did you give it back? It was the State Department. From what it sounds like, it wasn't up to her to give it back. That was wild. That was, she said, you are scraping. Scraping. That's hilarious. She said, you are scraping the bottom of the barrel, bro. The bottom. God, dog. All right, let's see who we got. Let's see who we got. A new one. We'll say Nikki. There we go. Nikki, Tim, Scott. Who else? Who else we got? Vivek. Who else? Who else are we thinking about? Nikki, Tim Scott, Vivek. I want to see another vote. DeSantis, I feel like Christie. Okay, Christie. She said, you are scraping. Who's your pick? Who's your pick? Because damn. She said, you are scraping. That's the best you got? You got nothing. You got nothing. Nothing. I don't know. I think Christie has been killing it. But I can't vote for somebody who just allows their wife to get just fucking annihilated by another man. I can't allow that. Sorry. Sorry, I can't trust somebody like that. Trying to see. Are you going to watch what Trump was saying? He was live before the debate. Oh, Trump was live before the debate? Oh, I know he was live before the debate. What did Trump say? Does anyone know what Trump said? I'm sure it was some crazy shit. What did Trump say? Trump statement. What was Trump's statement before the debate? It happened today? Another hint says when did it happen? Details what you think. It's Trump. When did Trump make a statement? I thought you all said it happened today. You know it's jacked up when Karen is attacking you on the national platform. Bruh. Damn, his wife got plowed? No, his wife did not get plowed. What I mean is Trump called his wife fat, I believe, or ugly. I think that's what it was, ugly. And he didn't say anything. He didn't say anything. Oh, man. He just took it on the chin. Just like, oh, man. It was brutal. I can't respect a man who does that, bro. I just can't. Sorry. Can't respect it. Oh, was it Ted? Wait. No, that was Ted Cruz. What did he say about Christie? I'm confusing the two. Because they're both fat and overweight. What Trump's, they both looked the same. I confused Tulsi and Nikki. And I confused Ted Cruz and fucking Chris Christie. What did he say about Chris Christie? I remember he said something about Chris Christie. That's right, Ted Cruz. Damn. Yeah. What did he say about Chris Christie? Didn't he say something crazy? I thought he said something crazy about Chris Christie. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. He called him a fat pig. Oh my God.
And welcome back to the final minutes. I could go another hour, but we only have a few minutes. And candidates,
Trump, man.
It's now obvious that if you all stay in the race, former President Donald Trump wins the nomination. None of you have indicated that you're dropping out. So, which one of you on stage tonight should be
now
voted
obvious
off the island?
That none of y'all have a chance.
Your marker to
Bro,
your
why are we
choice on
even
the
having this
notepad in
debate?
front of you.
That's why I didn't watch this debate, because it was
Starting
fucking
out, of the
pointless.
people on
That's
the
why.
stage, who should be? I'm absolutely
This is
serious.
just,
With all due
this
respect,
just makes me sad.
We're here, like, you know, we're happy to debate, but I think that that's disrespectful to my fellow competitors.
Nobody wants to participate.
Some questions. Let's talk about the future of the country.
Hey, that's not fair. That's not fair.
Let me ask you this.
Like, right.
If I may,
It's now obvious that none of you guys have a chance.
Question, let me ask you
That's
this one.
wild.
What is your mathematical path,
yes,
Governor DeSantis, in order
That's
to try to
wild.
beat President Trump, who
Kinda
has a
obvious that
commanding
none
and
of you
enduring
guys are gonna
lead
win.
in this race?
So
the nomination.
Polls don't elect presidents. Voters elect presidents. Right. And we're going to take the case of the people in these early states. We're going to do it in a state-by-state direction.
No,
and why?
not,
Because as Reagan said in his day, this is our time for choosing. We are not getting a mulligan on the 2024 election. Republicans have lost 3 straight elections in a row. We were supposed to have a red wave with inflation at 9%. It crashed and burned. Not in Florida, it didn't. We delivered it in Florida. And so we've got to choose right. We've got to win. And we need somebody that's going to be able to serve 2 terms. So in January of 2023, they'll be able to address the nation saying, we turned the economy around, we secured the border, and we fended off the threat from communist China. As your president, I will get that job done.
Governor Christie, I believe I did see you write something. Governor Christie, I believe, excuse me, Governor Christie, I believe I did see you write something on the card. Who was it?
No, but I'll certainly tell you.
Go.
Okay.
Yeah. Look, I think I've been the only one on this stage who's been clear about this. I vote Donald Trump off the island right now. And the reason I vote him off the island,
but any of the people on the stage,
you know what? Every person on this stage has shown the respect for Republican voters to come here to express their views honestly, candidly, and directly, and to take your questions honestly.
Why would he
I have
be here with
respect
a
for
bunch of
every man and woman on this stage because they've done it. Vivek, put your hand down for a second, would you? I still got time, dude. So chill out. Here, look. This guy has not only divided our party, he's divided families all over this country. He's divided friends all over this country. I've spoken to people, and I know everyone else has, who have sat at Thanksgiving dinner or at a birthday party and can't have a conversation anymore if they disagree with Donald Trump. He needs to be voted off the island, and he needs to be taken out of this process.
Bro, that's not happening. That's not happening, so you just wasted your time.
I have a different view on this. Idiot. I think Trump was an excellent president, but the America First agenda does not belong to one man. It does not belong to Donald Trump. It doesn't belong to me. It belongs to you, the people of this country. And the question is, who's going to unite this country and take the America First agenda to the next level? When we rallied behind the cry to make America great again, we did not just hunger for a single man. We hungered for the unapologetic pursuit of excellence. So yes, I will
hunger
respect
for a
Donald
single
Trump and
man.
his legacy because it's the right thing to do. But we will unite this country to take the America First agenda to the next level, and that will take a different generation to do it.
That does it. I repeat, that does it. For the second Republican primary debate live from the Ronald Reagan presidential.
I'm actually happy that I came late.
We've loved having you here tonight, and we will see you
I'm
out
genuinely
on the
happy that I came late. Because this was quite the clown show. What a clown-mageddon, bruh. Clown-mageddon, bruh.
Hi, welcome to Hannity.
Goodness gracious. What a clown-mageddon, bruh. It's quite obvious that none of you guys are going to get the nomination. So... You know what? The stream was worth it for that one statement right there, bro. Let's hear it again. I want to hear it again. That was funny.
We do not intend to go ahead
into their.
That was the funniest part.
Let me ask you this.
if I may,
let me ask you something.
Yep.
Then if you won't answer that question, let me ask you this one.
Yeah.
Where is it?
That if you,
Okay.
Where is it? This is the best part. This is the best part, bro. Where was it? Where is it? Where is it, man? This is the best thing. Best thing of the whole freaking debate right here. You guys ready?
And welcome back to the final minutes. I could go another hour, but we only have a few minutes. And candidates, it's now obvious that if you all stay in the race, former President Donald Trump wins the nomination.
You all stay in the race. Stop it, girl. Don't even say stay in the race. They don't have a chance in hell. None of them do.
None of you have indicated that you're dropping out. So, which one of you on stage tonight should be voted off the island?
That's so wild, man. That's such a wild. Oh my God. And then Christy talked about, well, Trump should be voted off. Shut up, Christy. You sound stupid. The man is so OP. Trump is so OP. He didn't even show up to the fucking debate and won. Goodness gracious. I don't know, man. I feel like Trump just has like a sixth sense about these things. He's like, they're a bunch of idiots. There's like no one on stage that's even worth debating. And to be honest, does anyone really care that Trump didn't show up to this? I'm not. I mean, I don't. I don't know if anyone actually really cares that Trump didn't show up to this fucking just clown show. So I don't even think it hurts him. That's the funny part. I don't even think it hurts him. It doesn't even hurt him. If anything, it just makes him seem even stronger. Because it's like, yo, who are these idiots who are just keep talking over one another, right? DeSantis constantly, oh, what about me? Vivek is crying like a little baby. You know, personal attacks don't really do anything. Freaking Christie is constantly attacking a man who's not even there. It's like, why are you talking about Trump? The man's not even here. How are you attacking him? Like, what? What are you doing? This shit is a clown, bro. This shit is a clown show. And what makes it even a bigger clown show is that Democrats aren't even having debates. Lord in heaven. Lord in heaven. I just don't know what's going on, man. I have no idea what's going on. Because, this is wild. This is absolutely wild, man. Country's doomed. It is what it is. Just accept it, okay? Just accept it and move on. That's what I think that's what I've done. I've come to the conclusion country's doomed. So that's why I'm not too upset with black people, it being game over for black people, because I'm like, well, everyone else is doomed as well. So it is what it is. It's who cares, bro? Who cares? It's game over. So I mean, whatever. Are you gonna watch what Trump's saying? What did Trump say? Does anyone know? Where's the link to what Trump said? I can't find a link to what Trump said. Does anyone have a link to what Trump said? I don't have. I heard Jim Lyons leaving, yes. I think Sony's in a very strong position to dominate for as long as they want to dominate. Jim Ryan did what he needed to do. Now it's up to, I forgot who's the new head. But yeah, I'm not concerned about that at all. What did Trump say? Another unhinged statement from Trump. Judge Ruth Foster. What did Trump say about the debate? Everyone keeps saying that he streamed something before the debate. What did he say about the debate? I haven't heard of anything. Does anyone know what he said? I would think that if he said something, it would be online. The Never Trumpers are molding. I mean, there's nothing they can do. At this point, you can't be a Never Trumper. It's just impossible. Like, the person we have in the White House right now is not even there. Everyone on that stage was a bunch of fucking clowns. It's just there's nothing else. Democrats are still going through with running Biden, so it's not like you can be like, hey, I think I should vote for someone else, right? So there's literally no other option. I haven't heard of any independent or any libertarian, so I mean, what else is there, bro? I mean, I'm just saying, bro. What else is there? Trump was on Rumble. Oh, Trump was on Rumble? What did he say? Trump was on Rumble. I would think everything that happens on Rumble happens on YouTube. Trump debate 2023. What did he say? Will Tucker host a bunch? It was a month ago. Most recent. CIA bribery. Trump to skip second primary debate. Where? Did he leave a statement? I don't understand. Was it a statement? Was it like a quote from Truth Social, or did he actually speak about it? Like, I don't get it. Can someone give me a link or something? I don't know. Like, what are we looking at? I don't know what we're looking for. If you can give me something of a quote, roughly of what he said, I can look it up. But he did a 1-hour speech. That's impossible. There's no way Trump did a 1-hour fucking speech today. You're telling me he did a 1-hour speech today? Trump had a rally? He had a rally today, or was this yesterday? Is this his, wait, he's having a rally right now? Is this man having a rally during the debate? That's fucking wild. Ain't no way.
Get the credit they... Now they want to go all electric and
Trump's
put you all out of
having a rally
business, you know
during
that,
the
right?
debate? Is this
to the welders, assembly line workers, machine operators, forklift drivers, pipe fitters, tool and die makers, mechanics, electricians, technicians, and journeymen.
That's wild.
We love being with you, and we love being with you right in your environment. You built this country, you love this country, and you are the ones that make our country run. You know that, right? Before I stepped into the political arena 7 years ago, I spent my whole life working alongside of Americans just like you.
Wild.
Spent a lot of time with you. You just don't know that, but I spent a lot of time with you and people just like you. Now, I put everything on the line to fight for you. I've risked it all to defend working class from the corrupt political class that has spent decades sucking the life, wealth, and blood out of this country. That's why I'm here tonight to lay out a vision for a revival of economic nationalism and our automobile manufacturing lifeblood, which they're sucking out of our country. I want a future that protects American labor, not foreign labor. A future that puts American dreams over foreign profits, and a future that raises American wages, that strengthens American industry, that builds national pride, and that defends this country's dignity, not squanders it all to build up foreign countries that hate us. And you know where they are? They're located all over the world, but they're mostly on the other side of the world. We don't want that. Under crooked Joe Biden, you have none of this. You have none of the things we want. Instead of economic nationalism, you have ultra-left-wing globalism. They hate our country. And the workers of America are getting, to put it very nicely, screwed. You're getting screwed. Yesterday, Joe Biden came to Michigan to pose for photos at the picket line.
This is so crazy.
But it's his policies that send Michigan auto unemployment line. After I announced that I would be announced quite a bit later. Spoke for a few seconds. Did you notice he spoke for what, a few seconds? And he had absolutely no idea what he was saying. He didn't know where he was. He didn't know where he was. He didn't know what we were saying. Where am I? He's saying, where am I? Oh, you're in Michigan. Oh, that's great. What do they do in Michigan? They grow wheat in Michigan, he said. Don't they grow wheat? No, that's Iowa and other places. Biden's cruel and ridiculous electrical. Think of this. He wants electric vehicle mandates that will spell the death of the U.S. auto industry. You know, it doesn't matter. I watch it. You're negotiating a contract. You're all on picket lines and everything. But it doesn't make a damn bit of difference what you get, because in 2 years, you're all going to be out of business. You're not getting anything. What they're doing to the auto industry in Michigan and throughout the country is absolutely horrible and ridiculous. Hundreds of thousands of American jobs, your jobs, will be gone forever because crooked Joe Biden is selling out. But I don't think it's him. I don't think he actually knows what the hell he's doing. He doesn't. She says he doesn't know. He doesn't know. It's not his fault. Let's not blame him. But he's surrounded with radical left Marxists and crazy people, fascists, bad people. He's selling you out to China. He's selling you out to the environmental extremists on the radical left. People have no idea how bad this is going to be also for the environment. You know, those batteries, when they get rid of them, and lots of bad things happen, and when they're digging it out of the ground to make those batteries, it's going to be very bad for the environment.
Oh, man.
You can be loyal to American labor, or you can be loyal to the environmental lunatics, but you can't really be loyal to both. It's one or the other, and they understand that. The Democrat Party has no idea what they're doing right now. They have no idea what to do. Crooked Joe is siding with the left-wing crazies who will destroy automobile manufacturing and will destroy our country itself. They're destroying our country. You look at that at the border. We had the safest border in history. Now you look at what's happening. It's just a horror show. I side with the auto workers of America and with those who want to make America great again, and I always will. And I don't get one thing. I don't get why Ford and GM, why these car makers aren't fighting to make cars that are going to sell, to make cars that are going to be able to go on long distances. They immediately give up. I see it with the oil companies, too. They're promoting windmills, which don't work, by the way, but they don't work. They want windmills all over the place. It's like they're told what to do, and that's what they go against their industry. They're either stupid or they're gutless. But why do they concede so fast? This plant, we just walked through this plant, and the electric vehicles are going to put them out of business. They don't need any of this. The things that you make in Michigan, they don't need any of it. Why is it that these big, powerful car companies with guys that are making $35 million a year immediately quit? They say, you want electric vehicles, we'll give it to you, when the damn things don't go far enough and they're too expensive. And I'm not in that business, but I know a lot about it. They don't go far enough and they're too expensive. A vote for Crooked Joe means the future of the auto industry will be made in China. That's what it's going to be. That's where they're made. My pledge to every automaker is this: a vote for President Trump means the future of the automobile will be made in America, where it should be. Made in America.
This is hilarious.
By American energy, it will be sourced suppliers, it will be sculpted from American iron, aluminum, and steel, and it will be built by highly skilled American hands and high-wage American labor. That's what's going to happen. It's going to happen. And we'll do it first day in office. First day in office. It'll be signed out first day in office. What they're doing to our country is horrible. What they're doing to the auto workers of this country just doesn't make sense. I saved American auto manufacturing. You know that in my first term, and I'll save it again. We did great. We did everything to keep those jobs. We'll save it again in our second term. Unfortunately, that's what we had to do because.
All right, I've seen enough. That's hilarious that he was running a campaign during the freaking Republican debates. That's damn, that's wild. You can see why the RNC hates this man. Oh man. All right. Well, that's gonna be it. Were we streaming anything? Oh, that's right. We were supposed to be streaming Cyberpunk. Bro, I tried to get it on on PC. I don't have enough storage. That thing is massive. Because before I got it on PC, I was like, oh shit, how much is this? How much does this need? Bro, it needs a lot. Like, a lot of space, bro. A lot of space. And I ain't got that much space on my hard drive. Any hard drive. I mean, I got a lot of space, but God, dog. Yeah, I would have to play it on the PS5, which is what I'm gonna do. Don't play it, they ruined the game? Well, I just bought it, so it's a little fucking late for that, my guy. What do you mean they ruined the game? Why do you say they ruined the game? How did they ruin the game? Like, what are you talking about? How did they ruin the game? They didn't. It's amazing. Okay, he's tripping. Okay, got you. Bet. All right, just wanted to make sure. Just wanted to make sure. Skip. All right, confirm. All right, so we got to download. Download Cyberpunk. Load it, load it. How is there not enough space? I know there's enough space. Change install location. There we go. I know there's enough space on there. Thank you. What the fuck are we talking about? All right, it's downloading. Don't say I warned. Really? You think it's bad? He said, don't say I didn't warn you. They ruined the game? How could they ruin Cyberpunk? From what I recall, the game was broken, the PC version at least. How did they ruin the game, fam? It's downloading right now. I mean, we'll find out in a few. 14 minutes for, you know, the update to download. And then I don't know how long it's going to take for, 4 minutes. And then 14 minutes for the actual game. And then we'll stream Phantom Liberty. I heard it was really good. It was like 20 hours. 20 hours for a DLC? Am I missing something? Like, am I missing something? Because that seems like it's pretty solid. We'll see, though. We'll see. My PC overheats. It overheats in about 10 minutes playing Cyberpunk. I mean, I can play Cyberpunk. I was playing it on the ultra settings. It's just I don't have enough space for the DLC. So I'm going to have to download it on my PC. Not my PC, on my PlayStation. Although I would definitely love to play it on PC with ultra settings, but nothing I can do. I don't know why these games have so much freaking space, bro. Like crazy space. When are you gonna play Manhunt 2? In October. I have the game. It's on my PC. I have it. So we'll be playing that in October, bro. I got Manhunt 2, bro. I got Manhunt 2. It should be interesting. I'm interested to play Manhunt 2. You want to know I was playing a little bit last night? Was Wet. That game is brain dead. That's what I realized. The game is absolutely brain dead. But and then I also want to play 50 Cent Blood on the Sand, bro. I want to play 50 Cent Blood on the Sand. Are you gonna stream the Newsom debate? What Newsom debate? Who is Newsom debating? Wait. I know. Newsom's debating. Isn't he debating that lady? Newsom. When is he debating? Oh, wait, no, it's Gavin Newsom he's debating. That's right. That's in November, my guy. Am I missing something, or are we in fucking October? We're not even in October yet. It's still September. Yeah, he's debating DeSantis. I was confusing. Man, I'm all over the place. Yeah, that's in September. Who cares about Newsom? I'm sorry, I have no interest in Newsom whatsoever. I'll stream it just to watch Newsom get fucking cucked. That's definitely what I'll do. Because if Newsom thinks he'll be able to handle fucking DeSantis, no, if DeSantis thinks he'll be able to handle Newsom, he's out of his fucking mind, bro. Newsom's gonna eat this man alive. He's gonna eat that. He's gonna eat this man alive. This is a Californian politician. Californian politicians, listen. Don't have your bumfuck, stupid Florida, Michigan, wherever the fuck you come from. Don't think you coming over here, you know, bullying a Californian politician. That's not happening, bro. That's not happening. Gavin Newsom managed to screw over everyone in the state, everyone in LA, and hired Larry Elder to run and oppose him. That's what I genuinely think he did that. I genuinely think Gavin Newsom hired Larry Elder to run against him. So that the media can make it Larry Elder versus Gavin Newsom. Do you really want Larry Elder to be the governor of California? I 100% believe that he did that. And I 100% believe Larry Elder would do that too. 100%. I don't think you guys understand how much effort it takes to get the fucking signatures, to verify the signatures, to get this man on the ballot. I don't think you guys understand that. I will never, as long as I fucking live, never forgive Larry Elder. Never for that. Never. Never. Listen to me. Never. On my deathbed, I'd be like, fuck Larry Elder. It took effort to get all those signatures, and they raised the signatures. Before, I forgot how many, it was like only a few million or so. And then they raised it, or it was a few thousand, I think, a few 100,000. And they raised it like 1 million or something. We got those signatures, bro. This man screwed it all up, bro. Screwed it all up. Warden says, I vote to ban at loading if the game is in trash. Clowns don't deserve a voice. Oh, damn. Damn. That's pretty intense to ban a member. They have to do something pretty fucking crazy to ban a member. We have 23 minutes left until the game is ready. Because I don't think, wait, hold on. Can I play Phantom Liberty without buying Cyberpunk? Because that's not how it was for PC. Oh my God, I think did I screw myself? Or you have to have Cyberpunk in order to play Phantom Liberty, right? Right? I'm not crazy, right? Right? It still needs a base game? Yes. Okay, yes. Okay. All right, just double checking. Just double checking. I was just double checking. Just double checking. You know what I can't get rid of? The Expanse. What? Holy hell. I don't know how. I thought Telltale was going to make a comeback. Bro. That game is dog poop. That game is dog poop, bruh. Straight dog poop. But it is what it is. What the hell is this? A season for the letter? When did I buy this? I don't remember buying this game. A letter for the future? The fuck? Bro, who? Did someone have my account? Did someone have my account? Is season free? Hold on, let me double check, bro. I think maybe the game was free. Cause I remember watching the trailer for it. I don't remember buying that shit. Season, hold up. Maybe the game was free and I'm tripping. Was the game free? Is the game free? Do y'all know if the game season is free? View product. Is the game fucking free? Because I would have never bought this shit. Bruh. Bruh, I would have never bought this shit. Fam, hold up. I'm going to show you something. Look. Bro, they said that I bought this. When did I buy fucking season? When did I don't, what? I don't even understand. View product. This has got to be free. There's no way I paid for this. Somebody must have hacked my account. Somebody must have hacked my account. Explore, record, meet people? Bro, this is definitely not a game that I paid for. There is no, somebody must have hacked my account, bro. Ain't no fucking way. A third-person atmospheric adventure bicycle road trip game. I remember seeing this on like, State of Play or whatever it was, but I did not buy it. I didn't even know this shit was available. Bro, what? Check purchase history? Okay, smart. That's smart. See, this is what I'm talking about. The only thing is, how do you check purchase history? Let me see. Is it in... Hold on. Let me check purchase history. There's no way I bought this, bro. Where is purchase history? Where would purchase history be? Sound storage system, user accounts, authorized apps. Where would purchase history be? Ain't no fucking way I bought this, bro. Ain't no way. System, data transfer, backup. Where would purchase history be? Does anyone know? Because I definitely feel like I want a refund. Because there's no way. In PlayStation Store? Okay, PlayStation Store. Latest collection, subscriptions, browse. Wish list. More. Transaction history. I don't fucking know. See, I bought it today? Oh, it comes with it. Oh, it comes with it. It comes with it. Holy fuck. It's like a bundle. Oh my God. Bruh, I checked. It's with the bundle, bro. Wait. No! That's not what I wanted. I just spent nearly $80. No, is that the only way to get this? Bruh, they don't sell just Phantom Liberty by itself? Hold up, did I just get fucked? Bro, they don't sell Phantom Liberty. Why the fuck would I buy a bundle of season? They don't sell Phantom Liberty by itself, do they? They don't sell Phantom Liberty by itself. Bruh, I just bought the fucking bundle. They did sell it by itself? Bro, then how the fuck did I get this? Bro, hold up. This is what I purchased. This is what I purchased. Fuck, did I not look at what I purchased? This is what I purchased. Select version. I selected the PS5 version. How did I buy the bundle? I just clicked on this and put buy. How did I buy the bundle? It doesn't even show any fucking bundle. It doesn't even show a bundle. Bro, this is some fucking bullshit. I didn't buy any bundle. You might have added the other game in the cart by accident. It said a bundle, fam, meaning it was packaged with Phantom Liberty. That's what they mean. There's no way in God's green earth I bought any season separately. I would have seen. It was a bundle. They fucked me. Because look. It says bundle. Do you see that? A season, a letter to the future PS4 and PS5, Cyberpunk. Why the fuck would they bundle that? Path of Exile bundle? What? Bruh. Goodness fucking gracious, bro. Goodness fucking gracious. All right. Well. All right. Nothing I can do about that. Nothing I can do about that, bro. No worries. PlayStation surely does simple refunds. Oh, we got a fucking comedian here. We got a fucking comedian. Brandon. I didn't know Brandon was a comedian. Brandon, where do you do stand-up, bro? I would love to come and, you know, support your endeavors, bro. I would love to come and support your endeavors, bro. PlayStation does simple refunds. You niggas know that. Never mind. Anyways, well, looks like we'll be playing season. So there's that. We'll be playing season. So, and I don't even know what the hell Path of Exile even is. I was wondering how that even got on my console. Path of Exile? It's a turn-based game? That... Kudos. Missed my last super. Are you going to play the Horizon DLC? Isn't the Horizon DLC a VR game? And it's only on PlayStation VR? I don't have PlayStation VR. I just have the Oculus. Or am I wrong? Because I thought the Horizon was I can't even play fucking Horizon because it's shown that I didn't even buy it. Oh my God, bro. It's not VR? I mean, yeah, I'll play it. Sure. It's showing that I didn't even buy it, bro. God, I hate fucking PlayStation. Oh, is it Call of the Mountain? This is VR. It's the first person one. Oh, Burning Sands is not? Okay, Call of the Mountain. That's what I'm seeing. My fault. I thought Call of the Mountain was the VR one. I think it is the VR one. Burning Sands. Sure, I'll play Burning Sands. I mean, I don't see why not. I think if I play it, I'll try and play it on PC. So we get the full power of the dark side. Burning Shores. When does it come out? Burning Shores. When is it? Burning Shores was 5 months ago. Burning Shores review 5 months ago.
Rated T for T.
Skip. When does it come out? Do we have a release date? Do we have a release date? April 19th. Wait, what? That can't be right. April 19th. Do they mean 2024? When does this come out? Oh, is it already out? Oh, wait, it's already out? It came out in April? Bruh, I had no idea. I had no clue. I had no clue. I mean, sure, we can play it. Burning Shores. Let me see if it's available. It's gotta be. Is it available on PC? Is it available on PC or is it only on PlayStation? Is it only on PlayStation? PS5 console required. We told you months ago? You did? It's only on PlayStation for now. Bro, I can't do that, bro. Because I don't know where, because I think I bought all my shit digitally. I'll never do that shit again. I learned my lesson. They fucked me hard. I bought this game digitally and I uninstalled it. And it's not in my games library anywhere. So I would have to buy it again. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm not doing that. Like you're out of your mind. You think I'm gonna buy fucking Horizon Forbidden West again just to play a $20 DLC? That's not going to happen. Lion trying buying Jim Ryan is gone. Physical copy all day. Yes. I've learned my lesson. On big titles like this, physical copy all day. Unless the gaming community starts going completely digital. Which we're just fucked then. I mean, there's nothing we can do. And if they start going all digital, I think people will find a way to start burning like discs. Burning and jailbreaking like the PS5 or something. That's what they'll do. All right, where is... Oh, here's Phantom Liberty. Okay, I have it started. Phantom Liberty. We're good to go. We'll start it in a few. Give me a second and we'll start. We'll start in a few. Like 15. What is it? 8:39? We'll start at 9. Phantom Liberty, we'll start at 9. MK1 tournament date, bro. I haven't even gotten a chance to play MK1, bro. I still haven't gotten a chance to really get on MK1. I still have to do the graphic. Okay, official MK date. Damn. It would have to be the 9th of October, Monday. Actually, let's make it a Friday. No, we should make it a weekend thing, right? Like Friday through Sunday. Or just 2 days. Maybe, what, Saturday and Sunday? Or 3 days. Or 3 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't know how to do the brackets. I don't know how to set that up. I'm going to have to talk to Leo. I don't know how to do the brackets. Someone hit me up on Twitter talking to me about the brackets and stuff like that. I was like, okay, fine. If y'all can do it, yeah, absolutely. We can make it October 13th. That's a week from Spider-Man. No Sunday because NFL on Sunday. What is NFL happening right now? Are we back in season? No Sunday, so it'll just be Friday and Saturday then. So 13th and 14th of October. Friday and Saturday. Rumors Todd Howard will run PlayStation. No, there's no fucking rumors. Stop it. October 13th and 14th for the tournament. Are we good? Are we good with that? Don't duck out on the horror games next month. I won't. Word of advice, Lucas, with the whole concern about Sony being hacked, maybe you should change your password, although now I'm questioning if that's a good idea. Bro, if it's hacked, it's hacked. It is what it is, bro. With PlayStation. Do it Sunday. Fuck the NFL viewers. Well, I don't know. Do we have a lot of NFL viewers? I don't know. I think Friday and Saturday is fine. I don't have an issue with that. I just wanted to do it on the weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. What y'all think about October 13th and 14th. October 13th and 14th will be the first Combat of Carnage tournament. Wait, because how do we do the winners and losers bracket? It would have to be 3 days, bro. People are out on the weekend? What do you mean people are out on the weekend? What do you mean people are out on the weekend? So what, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? We can do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. If y'all don't want to do Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Huh? Do weekdays? All right. If y'all in the Discord, talk to Leo, bro. Talk to Leo. I'll talk to Leo and see which was the best time to do it. Because if that's the case, we'll just do the 9th through the 11th. October 9, 10, 11. That's what we'll do it. Once we officialize that, we have to get a registration. So we'll probably do registration next week. If that's what we're doing. They making excuses because they scared. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, I'll catch y'all in a few for Phantom Liberty. Adios, muchachos. Take care and stay safe.